Hello adventurers and welcome back to the world of EA. It's been quite a while, but we are here with new fresh video. First of all, I want to thank you for the enormous support this channel received. We currently have more than 1000 subscribers and more than 15,000 views on all videos. Thank you guys. In today's material, we will visit the first desert and steppe of EA. Because of their increasing size and number of ecosystems, I will start breaking some of them down into a couple of episodes, like with deserts and steppes. Don't worry though, thanks to that approach, each region will be thoroughly researched and shown, not skipping any design step. Let's dive in then, shall we? Deserts are extremely arid regions that form when an area is denied rainwater by long and high mountain ranges. It's as you can see also true on the planet of EA. Steppes, neighboring deserts, are also poor in rainwater, yet they receive it in relatively greater amounts than sandy wastes. Also, both deserts and steppes will have two different variations. Cold and hot regions. Cold deserts and steppes will have at least 1 month in the year when the temperature will reach 32 Fahrenheit degrees or 0 Celsius degrees, or even lower, and hot deserts and steppes will always be hotter than 0. In all deserts we will meet almost no vegetation, while in steppes we will wander on one big green grass carpet. On the left continent's desert, we can spot two unique plants. The first one is Annulus vitae, the survivor cactus. It grows in the most arid part of the desert thanks to its mastery of water recycling and cooling mechanisms. Its hard, scale-like skin protects it from mechanical damage and also completely stops evaporation. A special membrane stops water from evaporating from its green leaf-like structures, while enabling fresh air molecules to still reach them. To stop herbivores from attempting to eat its green parts, the membrane is covered with long sharp spikes. To further improve its water situation, Annulus vitae also uses heat from the sun and hydrogen and oxygen molecules to synthesize a little bit of water on its own. But how to cool itself when you don't lose water through evaporation? Simple. The survivor cactus roots reach deep into the ground, both again supporting a little bit of water, but also enabling heat dispersion to the ground beneath via the roots themselves. They are infused with pure copper and can redistribute heat a lot better than normal plant's body. Another special cactus here is Petrae vitae, Petravita cactus. This one grows in gravel plains in the middle of the desert or near the savanna region. Because there are no easily accessible rock formations, it's hard for the animals to replenish mineral salts levels in their bodies. This cactus exploits that idea by forming natural spots on its body where crystallized salts emerge. Animals can't get them any other way around than leaking, and cactus catches drops of water from this process. The steppes of the left continent are a little bit different than others. They are quite wet, but not much can grow on this weird soil besides unending beds of grass. Still, here we also meet two peculiar plants. The first one is Argentum sanitas, silver aster. Hard to find, this flower is almost the same as countless others. The true value lies in the sap or the nectar that those plants produce. From each flower you can get only 1 or 2 drops, but it's crucial in making medicine for various diseases. Another plant here is Oculus serenitatis, the root of serenity. This one is absurdly rare. Many travel the steppes back and forth for years without finding even one, yet it's even more valuable than gold while fresh. Those who come in contact with the root steer are cleansed from any curse or bad omen, no matter how powerful the hex was. And those who will eat the still open eye out will be shown the thing they desire mostly. Be quick though, they say it only opens its eye once, right after being harvested. Then it sheds 1 tear and closes its eye forever. If you miss it, the plant becomes powerless. Sages are conflicted if this thing is even real, but the promise is enough for many to risk their lives looking for it. Now it's time to examine the fauna of the left continent's desert and steppe. On all deserts of EA, life, if any, will be scarce at best. All organisms will evolve to be resilient to extremely dry weather and heat and will be able to withstand those conditions for record periods. So arachnids, snakes, small mammals, camels and antelopes will be dominating those parts of the world. In cold deserts, animals also will adapt to withstand the great difference in temperature between summer and winter. The same applies to steppe and cold steppe, but with less need for water and heat adaptations. So antelopes, horses, camels, wolves, small mammals and birds will occasionally show up on the horizon. The first interesting animal in the desert is Ignis elementalis, fire elemental. But wait, Casper, aren't elementals spirits? Or at least beings without clear corporeal form? Well, in my world, one of the most fundamental rules of magic is that matter and energy are not so different, may I say. There are a lot of grays in between. Fire elemental is being made in approximately 90% out of pure energy, having a small part of matter called the orb. It swims in the air through the hottest parts of the deserts, looking for anything that can burn. It is omnivorous in a sense that it is able to channel life force from any burning matter. It also doesn't need water to live. The orb itself is a hard structure full of intricate natural patterns. If sawn in half, it reveals an intricate design with central canals coming down to the center in weird harmonious forms. The spirit itself ranges in shapes and sizes. Patterns change and twist, so it's hard to measure its usual numbers. They are sometimes larger than humans though, that's for sure. They can be killed by wizards, yes, but you need one in the first place. There is a way though to defeat it without magic. To kill such a fiend, you need to target its orb. If you can pluck it out, cut it, or pierce it, the spirit will die. Be careful though, adventurer. Fire spirits will usually protect their orbs with bones and rocks, so it's not that easy. If you can retrieve Fire Elemental's orb without damaging it, it can be then changed into an actual magic orb. This particular one is called a natural magic orb. They are full of raw elemental energy, but crude and simplistic in use. Not good for precise and sophisticated charms or chants. But Casper, how do fire elementals survive, for example, cold nights of every desert? They sleep through it. In the day they wander alone, but at night they meet in a place and start something called a fiend fire. They compress their energies and form a ring from their orbs that emanate with small flames and heat. They become dormant and reserve their energy for the day when the sun's heat will wake them up. It's even more dangerous to mess with them at night though. If you unfortunately wake one up, you never know how many there still are in a fiend fire, and also they become aggressive and will try to kill you. They can't be active at night, so they use every intruder as energy to survive. But fire elementals are just the preludium, because here in the left continent's desert, you're at the mercy of one true king. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the second species of dragons in the world of Ea, recived, the dragon of the depths, Talpan. This gigantic sun-dwelling creature holds the title of the dragon of the earth because it's the most ferocious of earth creatures here, and also, it's here, in the most harsh and empty place to live, desert. It's able to control suns and earth like no other, and its intelligence is scary. One of the most dangerous jobs here is to be the desert merchant, traveling from oasis to oasis, constantly being in the territories of those gigantic beasts. It measures around 15 feet in height and 60 feet in length, including the tail. Also, it can travel underground at astonishing speeds up to 50 miles per hour. It can do that thanks to its ability to use seismic magic and vibrations to make sand around it more like water. Also, those gigantic cavities on its head are not the nose. This is the front end of a great organellum that sucks in sand from the front, and by seismic energies pushing it back down the cartilaginous jets at the back and near the tail. Those same energies enable the beast to create whirlpools of sand that consume everything near them, literal sand barriers that are strong enough to ricochet small cannonballs. It can also create miniature sand clouds blocking vision in the fighting area, and it doesn't need to vibrate its whole body. They eat everything: humans, farm animals, wanderers. To survive in their environments is to learn and respect them. They are the kings of earth and its voice. Listen to it and maybe you will survive the desert. In extremely rare occasions when humans encounter a freshly deceased one, they can use some of its body parts. Skin is too hard and rough to be useful, but bones are even harder, and that's why they make great armor or weapons, such as warhammers. Additionally, if you obtain their brown shining fur, you can make it into a cloak that is seismically resistant. Every magic attack using earth energies will have only minor effects on you and the ground you are on or near. Those cloaks though are only obtained by shamans or most powerful tribe leaders. as a memento to Earth voices and are not used as armor, but rather a conduit for them. Now let's travel north to the steppes of the left continent. Here, first species that attracts your attention is Equapotomae, a Quellan's horse. They look almost like our horses, but they evolved smoother, thicker skin and special 3-part larger hooves. Their heads and tails are also different. They are much more aquatic looking because of the weird wet soil that they walk on. They use their specialized nostrils to dig into the ground looking for roots and bulbs of plants. Then they use 2 special appendages near their necks to scoop out the top of their food, and then they dig it up with their big canines to then eat. They are similar in size to a standard horse, which is around 5 feet in shoulder height and 8 feet in length. And also, usually, they wander unbothered as wild animals. They also have been domesticated and used as transport and working animals. And the last animal here in this episode, I present to you Ignis Salamandrae, Flame Salamander. This little fellow is an amphibian that found a way to harness the power of fire. It needs it to create its dens and tunnels in wet ground that, if not solidified, could just fall back down. Also, if you are attacked, it's good to fight fire with fire. This adorable guy usually measures around 1.6 feet in length and tries to hide from air and ground predators asleep in its den, while at night searching for worms, snails and rodents. It digs its den by removing the set amount of earth and burning out walls, ceilings and floors in intense flames. Then it forms the exit tunnels and brings down there some fresh grasses that become dry in a couple of seconds. The nest has one central room with a bed made out of grass and sometimes leaves, and a couple of exit tunnels. It can stand for over 2 or 3 years without collapsing. Sometimes humanoids catch them to eat, but moreover because of spite. It happens sometimes that lost fire salamanders can burn down some villagers' yurts while they got lost hunting. Oh damn. Guys, I'm so happy that we could get back to the world of Ea. It's been quite a time for me at uni, but we survived. When I'm recording this audio, I'm still on my break between semesters and having a great time. Again, I want to thank all of you guys for subscribing and watching our channel. The idea that we already have more than 1000 people is mind-blowing to me. I never believed we could gather such a big crowd. Thank you all. I hope that you guys also got interested in the desert and steppes of our war-building world and will wait for other episodes in this series. I want to say that I will try to end desert and steppes this year, but just remember guys, it's actually a lot of miniature worlds, so be patient, cause I'm already cooking some new ideas. Also about new ideas and changes, expect some changes in the art style coming down next video. I recently rediscovered my love for a more cartoony style and want to experiment with this next video. Also guys, from this video onwards we actually have a Patreon. If you want and feel like it, you can support me there substantially. If you are new here and like the video, consider staying and becoming part of us, the adventurers, and the world of Ea. For now, that's all guys. I wish you a great day and may we meet again in the world of Ea.